All right, welcome to the chat, or I don't know why I said that. To the video. Feel free to chat. What we're looking to address today is an issue related to user settings, caching, and some of our plans for TurboStream. Broadcasts. So, let me show up my screen. That's probably the best way to go about things, and that's not the right stuff. Let's do this and that. All right. So if we're over here on one of our pages, if we look at, for example, this note, if we hit the button, we can see the add to battle board or remove from battle board. We really only want to be showing the right one, ideally. So that's easy enough to do. So if I go up over to here and I come into the add and remove from battle board, what we want to be doing here is we can go if current battle board dot what is activity for card for activity, and then it's going to be the note dot activity. And so if we have we want that to be a unless. Over here we'll go if. All right, so if we refresh this, I can now come into the note and say remove from battle board. So the note's on there currently. So I can go remove, and now I can go add, remove, add. Wonderful. Perfect. Our job here is done. Except if I did something like throwing a cache into here. So now I can go cache, note, and if I go Rails dev cache to turn on caching and hop back in. So my note, and I can remove, which makes sense because it's currently on here. That's good and that's reasonable. So let's remove it. And now we have the option, if we refresh, to remove. So that's not going to work. So the reason this is happening is this battle board is on a per user setup. So I might have a battle board and you might have your own separate battle board. So when I add and remove it to my battle board, it doesn't touch the note itself. It doesn't update its timestamp, so this cache doesn't break. All right, let's disable the caching on here. So we can work on things a little bit. So this isn't going to work as a full solution. So let's just back that out. Okay, so we still have both links. What we really want to be able to do is have a thing. Well, sorry, let me take one step back. When we're looking at adding content and privacy and stuff like that, there's things where you don't want it on the page at all. So for example, in your bank account, you shouldn't be able to see my bank balances. That's private information. This is a different type of thing. We are wanting to hide this because it's convenient for the user. It doesn't actually improve security or anything like that. And in fact, even if you're to follow these and click through them, they then do the check on the other side to make sure it's not doing something wrong. So what we really want to be able to do is we want to dynamically show and hide this. So let's build that out. So I've built this out in a different project, which I'm kind of bringing over here. And this is what I call like a user settings toggle. Yeah. So let's build that out. So this is going to be, so the idea behind what I'm doing is that you have a general kind of master user settings toggle thing. And that's going to be able to have a bunch of different data. So this is going to be intentionally very generic. So I'm going to put in terms of let's show what we're doing here. So in our system, kind of at the top layer, we're going to want to have something maybe up here. So we're going to do a data controller, and we'll do a user toggle. Yeah, we'll call it user toggle. Well, this is the toggler. No, we'll call it user toggle. All right, so Rails G stimulus user toggle. we're just gonna make sure things are wired up. And they are great. Okay, so our user toggle, it's going to have a data static that it's going to be working with, and this is going to be an object. Actually, this is going to be type object default of nothing. I always want to do the wrong style there. So we are going to have, so we're going to have that. That's kind of where the information that we're holding. We're also going to have targets, and we're going to have these. There's a there's stuff that we're going to be toggling. And we're also going to have data that we're adding. Okay, so let's look at what this looks like. So if I come in here, what I want to be doing is whenever the data target is connected, we're going to eventually we're going to be doing element dot remove. So we're going to clean up after itself, and we're going to console.log this dot data value. Okay, so this element, when it comes in, we're going to want to get, so what's going to end up happening here is that we're going to have this data. It's going to be something like battle board card IDs is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have, I don't know, favorited, or we might have something like permissions. Something like that. And then we're going to be, whenever this data is updated, we're going to be using that to toggle the presentation of the toggleable things. So we'll have data value changed. So this is kind of what we're looking at for our structure. So let's get rid of this. And so yeah, whenever we add a new target element, we're going to have, so it's going to have its path and its values. So we might have the user toggle path, and there's an assumption that this is going to be a JSON parsable thing. Element.dataset dot user toggle data, and let's just make sure that's loading right. We'll do path and value on that. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So if I come back into the base, and in here I can just make a div, and we call this data user toggle. User toggle path. And the user toggle value, we're going to say that that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we want to make it so that this doesn't show up on the page at all, we can do this as a template. That way it just doesn't show up. So let's see if we've update toggleables. It should be triggered, sure. and data user toggle target. We'll want to have that. This is a data. Undefined. Interesting. So if we look at this, element dot data set dot user toggle path, foobar user toggle value is that user toggle value. Yep, foobar 1, 2, 3. Great. So now what we can do is we can go in here and say this dot data value, and we want to change the path to equal this to equal value. So this is going to be replacing it. We probably could build more flexibility in here to let it do stuff, but let's see how this goes. All right, so foobar is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not seeing. I'm wondering if you edit a sub thing, if it doesn't replace the whole, it doesn't call that data value changed. I'm going to just manually do that. So really what this ends up I need to be doing is, why not triggering? So my guess is because I'm not actually changing the reference data value. I'm changing the associated value inside of it. It means that it isn't actually doing anything. If I were to do, well, actually, I can even just do this. If I did something like values equals this dot data value, and then values path equals value, and data value equals values. Values. The values equals the values path. And updating toggleables. So that is working properly. So that's kind of what's going on there. I'm going to probably have to, I'm forgetting the words, where you bust things out. Anyways, I got to work on that a little bit. Okay. So that looks like it's looking good. If I hop over here, then what I want to be doing on the add to battle board, and here we're going to want to be doing a good chunk of stuff. So first off, this is going to have to be one of those user toggleable toggles. So for here, this can be, what do I call this? User toggle target is going to be toggleable. For here, we're going to have a user toggle path of, what did I call you? Foobar. Well, that's not going to help much, but anyways, a foobar, and we'll do a user toggle value. Sorry, I'm thinking, checking my notes. Okay, so they are targetable, the bookmarks. That's what I was going to do. So we want this to add a battle board. So we have a list of IDs. We want this to show the add if it's missing. So this is going to be show unless. And we'll just say show unless one is there. So this again, user toggleable, foobar, and show if one. So we're going to remove if it does exist, and we're going to, otherwise, okay, so that makes sense. And all right. Well, we're actually not doing anything in the toggle here. So this dot toggleable targets dot for each all right. So in here, I'm going to just grab a few things. So we grab the path from user toggle path. That's what we called it, right? User toggle path. So we're going to show if. So if I have the show if data attribute, we're going to grab that and we're going to parse it as an integer. And for show unless, we're going to do the same thing because we're checking for the show unless data attribute. All right. So with that done, we can then say show. So if show if and it has that ID, or show unless and it doesn't have the ID, then we can toggle the hidden class. So that didn't work. All right, let's actually grab the real things because I'm kind of fooling around. So what I'm doing, well, here what I'm doing right now. So I've got so one other wrinkle that we need to take care of is these are being applied directly to the button itself, but we actually want that to happen to the form. Add a paddle. All right. So the form is not getting that stuff. Why are you not getting that stuff? Because that's a task, not the link. Oh, note. All right. So our form has the data user toggleable target toggleable data user toggle path as foobar, and it's going to say show unless one. All right. Okay, so let's actually put this into the real thing. So this we need to use the activity ID. Note.activity.id. right. So okay. Can't find reference element. What is going on here? Yeah, because you just put it under the target. That's why. All right, read your error messages, friends. It's helpful. Pin that. Add to battle board. Great. Now we're actually not loading the real list here, so let's actually do that. So this is going to be the current battle board dot cards dot pluck ID, I think. Ooh. What did you look like? Value. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Let's just hop into here for a sec. Instead of doing that, let's do go to A equals B. Let's get this to blow up. Current battle board dot cards stuff dot pluck ID, not and ID. So you need to use and ID because you're passing in a proc when you're doing stuff with normal arrays, but with this you're actually supposed to be plucking it, so it's different. And with that done, we can get rid of our A equals B, and let's see if this looks a little better. I don't see an error, so that's good. 227 to 30, good. So if we come into here and look at my note, which is pinned, this is giving me add. Remove, it's giving me both. Why are you giving me both? Foo bar is 27, 13, okay. And this is giving me very awkward results. So add to battle board. It's not on the battle board. Good. So add to battle board. It's on here. If we go back, it's already on there. And this is note 4. Which note 4 is activity. Note 4 is activity 9. That's because we don't want the battle board card ID. We want the battle board cards, and we let me look for something for a sec. Because we don't want the card IDs, we want the battle boards cards sources ID.
So for that, so if you look at the Kanban view card, it has the activity that it's attached to. So we want their activity IDs, not the, yeah. So this is giving us 2, 10, and 9, which is far more reasonable. So if I come into here, I can now remove it. And if I refresh, it's going to be adding, and that's because we're actually not pushing that new data element. So that's the last piece that we want to do. So this here, we want to pull that out, and we want to render this as, I don't know, render battle boards, user toggle data. Battle boards, user toggle data.html.arb. And that still looks good. Okay, so when we, in our controller, when we submit to the battle board cards controller, when we create or destroy, we have the turbo stream there. So in our views, battle boards, cards, create and destroy, we want to also in here do a turbo stream dot append, I don't know, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a brain whatever right now. We want to have this, I don't know, into the modal container. And here we can do that. What do we do? So that's just going to drop that into that modal container. We're going to do the same thing on the create. So that should update those things dynamically now. So right now we're at remove. If we click it, we now can add. All right. And if we look at what's going on, so in our, did I turn that on? Okay. So if I come in here and remove, that foobar is going to be coming forward too. So actually we do need to fix that. That shouldn't be foobar. That's going to want to be something that's the appropriate ID. So that's going to be looking at the, this will be the battle card, battle board card IDs. And if we go over to the note, we can bring that over here. Oop. To that. All right. And what's nice is this has nothing to do with the card IDs. This is using its own separate thing, and it's not hard coded to connect with it at all. I do want to remove this element as well. Let me just show what's happening here though first. So if I go over here and I look at the modal container, we can see that all of these are kind of listed out. If I come in here and I add a new thing, In fact, if I do it one of the other ones, we said that comes in here as well. So now we're seeing that it switches over to the battle board card IDs. So that's going to, have to refresh the page for that to work properly. But yeah, so you can see that's coming in. And if I go to the battle board and I remove everything and then go back to here and add ASDF, we can see in the modal container that gets added. That's the 10. And if I go to the notes and add that pin to 1, that gets number 9, and I can remove it. Why am I getting both again? Battle card IDs. It is not jumping into my things, which is awkward. Activities. And this is which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All right, but I can basically go in here. I can say let's remove that. And now when we refresh, if we come in here, this should be happening for the notes. Why is that not? Oh, I'm just going to manually trigger this just to check something out. I think that this is having an issue on the, well, before I jump to a conclusion, let's check. So I go add to board, and now remove from board, and now it's going to be both. So when I remove from board, it's not present, and it so there's a little bit of interaction going in here, so I'll have to kind of debug this a little bit. But it looks like it's, so if I remove it, well, let's add that back in so I can see what's going on. So I come here and I go add to board. $550 console message not shown. It's a lot. If I go in here and I go remove, why is that spitting the A out? Let's clean that up. That's no good. All right. So on page load, it doesn't seem to be setting. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Battle cards is 10. Okay, that makes sense. If I come down here and do add a battle board, it now has 9, and I can remove it from battle board, and now it goes back to just 10. So here, it's still coming up true for the 10. That's weird.
show if. So if I have user toggle set to true, and I grab that ID, show unless is show unless. Let's user toggle show unless. User toggle show unless. User toggle show unless. So wait, we're looking at the on page load. This is for my note. It is not on here. So it should be add. So the remove is not working. So we're going to show if show unless and show. All right, undefined is for show if, which makes sense. Show unless is 9. That makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna and it says show true. We don't have it. Okay. So show if. Nope. So this is gonna be false. Or so show is or show unless, which is truthy, and data path whatever dot index of show unless. Okay, now we're passing this in as a integer. What am I thinking through this wrong? I feel like I'm fuzzy. My brain's not working through this right. So let me. Okay. So remove from battle board should not be showing up. It is showing up. This is happening because we have our activity ID. So this is doing show if. There we go. So show if user toggle show if. What is that not coming in right? Here, let's throw a debugger right here. Well, it's gonna, yeah, let's do it. There's no one on the screen, so that should be okay. I want to do it here. All right. So show if is undefined. All right. What does this say? User toggle show if is undefined. That's interesting. Right, because this is the first one. Now the second one, show if is undefined.
So this is the add to battle board. I expect that would have been the other one first. That's the add to battle board. Did I not? Form, data, user toggle. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Ugh. All right, so we can add to the battle board. Remove from battle board. You can add to battle board. Oh, it's amazing. It actually works. All right, let's get some of that debugging crap out of there. And this can get out of here. All right, so we're cleaning up after ourselves. So we're removing those data elements afterwards. We are doing this actually right. So this is also a place where we would definitely want to pull these buttons out into a separate thing because they're going to use the same values for everything. But to avoid that, stupid. So let's actually do that real quick. So if we have our, so we had our button here. Let's do a menu links.html.erb, and this is going to look like let's grab all this and we're going to render so let me do this like this. I haven't tried this before. We'll see. We'll render book a battle board / menu links. Menu is menu and activity is note. All right, over here, menu button to out of board, so we're gonna have activity to sgid, we're also, that's gonna be the same everywhere, right? Battle board menu links. Battle board and add to battle, remove from battle board. Wonderful. And what's nice is we can now go in here and go to our tasks, edit, and our battle board links here. We can swap out. So right now the links don't in here are both of them. So menu is menu and activity is the task. So I can go and remove from battle board and add to battle board and remove and double check, and nope, it's not there. And if I come back and add it and then check, it is there. And if I remove it from here and go back, it's going to ask me to, I'll have to reload the page because that's cached, but add to battle board. Okay, so with this, we are, so with this change, it means that we're not reliant on those things being in the actual, they're always in the DOM. But we're able to selectively show and hide them. And this is also a flexible system that we can use for user permissions down the road and whatnot. Anything that's not sensitive information, but does user interface improvements type information. That's where we can kind of use this to really take care of things. The only other thing I'd maybe think is that this doesn't belong at the template level. The initial data loading, it probably belongs more at the activities for the, at the level of the activities for the the job or whatever that you're looking at. So I'm going to make that change off screen, but that's just moving that over to another place. Anywho, this is kind of one way of approaching that issue of being able to have user-specific content that's toggled to be shown in. All right. Take care and see you next time.